Hey people, thanks for joining me today. And listen, I got a story for you today. It's story time with E at CVS. That's Cypress View Studios for those of you who don't know. Those of you who know, that's a recording studio that I own here in Lakeland. And man, I'm all about cars and guitars. And I've been doing a lot of cars lately, so I thought it was time for guitars. Let's make it happen. Man, we some time ago went to California. And that's El Cajon, California, to be specific, which is about 20 miles east of San Diego. And hey, we had a great time visiting the Taylor Guitar Factory. Yeah, hey, and this was before I owned a Taylor. Man, I tell you what, I was just wanted to go see them, man, and never owned one, never, considered it. Well, I'd considered it. But hey, listen, and I went over there and we had a great time checking them out. First thing we did was drove up to the complex, and I reckon by the way we came into the place that we weren't able to see the store and the factory tour readily available right there. So I saw another area that looked like an office area, and maybe that's where it was, right? So got out the car, walked up there to a door that had Taylor written on it. I'm like, this has got to be the place, right? Opened that thing up as it was wide open. There was nobody else around. Walked in, reception desk over to the left. Nobody there. A hallway directly in front of me. Offices lining both sides all the way down. Didn't appear to be anybody there. I looked over to the right-hand side, the first office right there, just kind of checking it out, and lo and behold, the plaque on the wall, Robert Taylor. Whoa! The founder of Taylor Guitars, I'm standing here next to his office. What in the world's going on around here? I says, well, I think I'm in the wrong place, so I better find my way back out of here and go around and find the right place for the tour. So, hey, went around the corner of the building, and there it was, the tour and the store. Free tour. Hey, free is for me. I love it. Woo! And walked in there and got started. Well, guitars are built with wood, robots, and most importantly, people. And a robot is shaping a piece of wood in this picture. It's making a neck blank. And that was the first thing we saw when we came in the factory. Then installing a fretboard into that neck blank was happening, and ebony fretboards are used on the Taylors that I like. That's a mahogany neck and a ebony fretboard. And then we saw how they built the spruce top, put the bracing on it, and that was really cool to see the templates and things that they used to route that thing out and make the shape. Next up was body construction, and we saw how they take forms or jigs and shape the mahogany, the rosewood, the maple, other woods that they use. They shape it into the curves of a guitar. Man, it's cool. And then the guitars are sitting there waiting to be finished. They're all put together. They got tape on them maybe, hold them together, and they're ready to be finished and buffed. So they had a buffing room, and they even had a robot doing buffing. And then it was over to assembly, and they put all of the electronics, they put the tuners and different things on the guitar and finish out the guitar and make a wonderful, beautiful guitar. If you've ever been to a factory tour, you know what the end is like. I don't have to tell you. They dump you out into a store with merch and stuff, and you go in there and you're like, I've just been in a factory and I'm all pumped up. I'm ready to buy. Taylor, it ain't fair, man. They dump you out into a room about the size of a very large living room of a big house, and it is from floor to ceiling hanging with Taylor guitars of all types. And oh my goodness, I was like a kid in a candy shop, and after going through that Taylor tour, I was ready to buy. Well, you got to wait for God's timing, and that's what I did. I didn't buy that day. That came later. The Taylor 614 CE. That's the guitar that captivated me back in the late 90s when it first came out. And man, I just love the sleek look of that guitar. It's got a maple back and sides, of course the spruce top, mahogany neck, and an ebony fretboard. And I just thought that was the cat's meow. They made some great colors, all kind of different colors of those guitars. They were bright and beautiful. And Man, I tell you what, I thought right then, man, if I ever get a Taylor, that's my Taylor. That's what I want. Since I was 5 years old, I've been an electric player. That's electric guitar, electric bass, solid bodies. That's what I've been focused on. You know, pedal steel guitars in there as well. That's a solid instrument as well. But acoustics were almost a second thought to me. And, you know, something that I didn't use very often. And I had an Ovation. And I love the Ovation. I played it at the store when I bought it, compared it to a couple other guitars. I really liked the way it sounded and played. And Ovations are heresy. To the acoustic guitar aficionados, heresy, man. That's what they are. Because they got a plastic back, composite back, and a spruce top. You know, they're only halfway made of wood. You know, it's not a real acoustic guitar. Come on, dude. Well, I tell you what, I beg to differ. I do like Ovation guitars, and I have this one right here that was handed down to me from my father's estate. And man, it's cool. It's not my original one, but it is super cool. And, you know, I used that guitar, that Ovation, for many years, and finally got some other guitars, some other acoustic guitars. But the day came, it was our anniversary, and my wife said, you know what? I think I want to buy you that guitar for anniversary. I'm like, what? So I went down to the big box here in Lakeland and looked around that store, and they had one. Brown sugar was the color on the back and sides. Beautiful color. And I then went to the local homegrown Polk County store. They had what I was looking for. They had one there that was in beautiful shape. Hey, it was last year's model. That made it cheap. We can talk about Taylor cheap anyway. It made it a lot less money to purchase than buying a brand new one that was this year's model. And God just plopped that thing right down in my lap, picked that thing up. My beautiful wife said, just get it for our anniversary, and that's your gift. And I am grateful. This thing is wonderful. Hey, thanks for joining me. God bless you and peace.